Good evening, everybody. This is Dr. Mulder, and tonight I want to talk to you about a weather operation I did. I think the first one I did was back around 2014, and the reason why I did it this particular way was a two-phase or two parts to this. I was working with Charles Casamano, just started working with him, and we developed the chakra machine. And basically, it's it's sort of self-explanatory. It works on the chakra points of the human body and either accentuates them or adds power to them, changes them, yada yada yada, whatever. And so that kind of gave me a silly idea when I came across that the Earth also has chakra points. And I'm going to zoom in on this bad boy here so you can see it for yourself. These are a few like Mount Shasta over in California. See, you have Stonehenge over in the UK, the pyramids over in Egypt. And I mean, the list just it goes on and on. There's multiple points on the planet. And anyway, what I wanted to do was I wanted to tap into these chakra points on the Earth and use them to cause weather anomalies on the planet. And so, kind of step by step here, these all have this world map with the chakra world map has contact points for these particular locations to so you can tap into these energies and project them into the machine. Well, these things are they're both on alligator clip with a lead, goes into the input of the machine. From there, zoom in a little bit. This was a sort of a prototype. I built several of these for Chuck, and this was using his amplifying pattern, which also had dials connected to each part of this pattern. And on the center here is a copper input plate. And what I would do is place a piece of orgonite on that input plate. And once I did this, once I placed the orgonite on there, I would tune all of these knobs to take that orgonite energy and focus it and raise the power of it so that we go to the output of the machine, which is right here, and see if I can make this thing work. I'm gonna like I said, it's just the first time I'm learning how to do this. Okay, here we go. And this was I've had everything connected to a world map, and on this particular location, it's over in the Middle East. Um, and the second phase of this, the inspiration for this was I had a client over there, and I've been working on a legal issue radionically for them for several months, and needless to say, she was getting a little antsy, a little impatient about it, which I understand. And she said, "Oh, this radionic stuff doesn't work for me." And I said, "Well, let's, you know, silly me." I asked her, "Does it rain where you're at?" She said, "Well, I might get a few spring showers, but hey, I live in a desert. Brad, it doesn't rain here." I said, "Okay, no problem, no problem." So I went ahead and set up this operation to cause a rain in her location. And what had happened was that a storm front over in India had developed and major, downpours and all that good stuff. And what it did, it crossed over to the Persian Gulf and dropped between, I think, between 6 to 12 inches of rain in her location within 2 weeks after this operation. All right. And what I did, I set a stick pin on her location and with a alligator clip from the output of the machine right here leading in to there. And I just had, and all that is right there is just the wire on top of the clip, just to kind of keep it out of the way so it's going to jangle or jungle or mixed up with something else and get yanked out of the off the machine. But this was very, very interesting how this thing worked. And another little part of this thing I think I'd like to say, these three knobs right here, after you focus all this energy, you take these three knobs and they're basically acting as an additional part of this machine. And what they would do is reinforce my intent for what I want to happen with all these energies at this location. And they were dialed or tuned for it to rain at this location over in the Middle East. Well, like I said, 2 or 3 weeks later, there's apparently a giant storm over in her location, And I was kind of chuckling because I was impressed. I couldn't believe it actually happened. I was thinking it is a giant coincidence, or this, hey, this stuff really, really works. But anyway, I get a call from her and she says, and I said, well, what do you think? And she said, this is not funny. Because apparently she was trapped inside of a parking lot from her apartment building because there was so much rain. And I mean, I saw videos of this where you had uh, these people that are out in the streets and they're like watching this river, uh, that the streets have turned to like rivers. And you can see all these Lamborghinis or what have you that were all washed down the street and just piled up against this one building in the street. All these people were, yelling and just kind of I guess they were like wondering what the hell happened here. And so that is my first experiment with weather. Well, also, this is a good lesson in unintended consequences because here's what happened. All that moisture that went to the desert, apparently it activated or hatched all these the locust eggs were buried under the sand in the desert, and they apparently they started hatching. And what happened? You had basically a plague of locusts that were going across the Middle East. I think they were going through I think originally through Iraq and worked its way over to Saudi Arabia. And then it went to a certain place in Saudi Arabia. All the locusts decided, I guess that was their target, was a certain place where every Muslim has to go to at least once in their life. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to mention the name of the city or the location, but it's a very famous location. And if you heard, if I was to tell you, you know exactly where this place was at. But neither here nor there. So all these locusts travel across the desert, yeah, 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 and they finally wind up at this particular location. And this goes to show you, even when you're doing one thing, it has unintended consequences for other things. And like I said, I was just basically playing a practical joke, ladies and gentlemen. I wasn't trying to do anything to hurt anybody or whatever. I just thought it was funny. I just wanted to see if I could do it. But that was my first start in using these devices for weather manipulation. And I did the very same thing. I used this device on a couple other storms. I'm going to see if I can go back and get you a better picture. Okay, here we go. Nope, I'm on a different one. Okay, I'm going, keep on going. All right, here. Nope, yep, nope, that's the wrong one. Darn it. Hang on. Okay. All right. Let's see if I can get over here. But anyway, uh, I'm gonna go to another one here so you can get a better picture of it. Okay. But yeah, this kind of thing here is I mean it was very easy to set up. I mean the hardest part of it was designing the machine and getting everything together for it. But this machine here was basically its sole purpose is to tap into these power points that are on the planet and use them to project that energy toward other places to do different operations. And you can see what each one of these chakra points in the planet will do. Just do your own research. You can find out what they're capable of doing, what kind of energies they produce, and use them as a resource. That's what they're there for you to tap into and use as a resource. And I was like I said, this is something I've done this multiple times. I think the last experiment that I really worked on, concentrated on, I think it was Christmas of 2022, maybe. I think it was, yeah, Christmas of 2022. I'd set up a operation around Thanksgiving, which had been the latter part of November, for it to snow on this particular location on Christmas Day. Well, here's what happened. Go through the operation on the 25th, no snow. On the 26th, no snow. On the 27th, there was snow. Matter of fact, I even have the reports on there. And they said, oh, the first time recorded history of snowing in this area. Well, that's a bunch of BS because that happened at that very same location or that very same country. I think on 2016 when I was doing that, I had a friend of mine who was in the military, was stationed over in that part of the world also, within, I would say, 25, 30 miles of my client. And so they saw this with their own eyes, yeah, yeah, yeah. And also I was messing with them too. Set up a machine for a hailstorm, which is right outside the base of this military base over there in the desert. They got to see that. And I mean, these are just things that I would do again just to see if they could be done. It proved that to me, either it's one hell of a coincidence or these machines actually work to manipulate weather. And weather is a funny thing. I mean, what may be good for you will be bad for the person down the street. And I mean, there's always these many analogies of, yeah, you want a sunny day, for your child's birthday party, but the farmer down the street, his crops are dying and he needs rain desperately. So yeah, it may be great for you, but it's not so great for the farmer down the road. And so, just something to keep in mind, unintended consequences. And I got to experience, that, and I thought I have to admit, it was a little entertaining. Well, anyway, that's sort of one of the many experiments that I've done over the years here, and hopefully you got a little something out of that. And like I said, just go out there and get some organite, get a map, and start doing your own weather manipulation. It's pretty much basically it's the layout of what I use, which you can do this with a $9 or $12 machine. Just be a little creative. All right, with that said, you have a great day. Bye.